Now at 11, a man has been sentenced for killing a Portland area nurse, but a longtime friend says it will never be enough.
She was an incredible model for how to love your people well.
Plus, a local business owner looking for answers after thieves take advantage of her honor-based farm stand.
They tried to rip it off the wall. You can see him in the video trying to get it off, but he couldn't, so he just pried it open.
And later on, it's the return of free summer events across Portland, starting with a weekend full of music.
A lovely way to build community, foster connection, enjoy our parks.
Our top story tonight, the man accused of killing a Portland area nurse while she was vacationing in Budapest has now been sentenced for her murder. That man, an Irish citizen, will spend the next 14 years in prison in Hungary. For the first time since that sentencing, we are hearing from a lifelong friend of Kinsey Machowski who continues to grapple with her loss.
She would write all sorts of little messages, just saying all sorts of silly little things.
These notes and letters are some of the memories Crystal Sorenzo has of her friend Kinsey Machowski. The two met over 20 years ago while riding the same bus to elementary school. They developed a lifelong friendship, sharing adventures, laughter, and fun.
Kinsey was so full of life, so full of sparkly life.
It's now been over a year and a half since Machowski's life was tragically cut short. The 31-year-old was strangled to death during a vacation in Budapest just hours before she was scheduled to catch her return flight to the United States.
This loss has been absolutely devastating. I think it flipped all of our lives upside down, and it's taken a lot of time.
Authorities say Machowski met a 37-year-old man at a nightclub on the night she died, and the two left together to his apartment. That man, only identified by authorities as an Irish citizen named LTM, was arrested in November 2024, just days after Kinsey's disappearance. He initially denied killing Machowski before eventually leading police to her body. On Thursday, a Hungarian court sentenced him to 14 years in prison.
As long as Kinsey is not here, there's no justice as far as we're all concerned. I don't think there's any real justice that can be had for her in this lifetime. And that's something that we all have to just carry with us and try to make sense of throughout our lives.
Sorenzo describes the last year and a half as a long and difficult road for Machowski's family and friends. But there have been brief moments of joy, like when Kinsey was honored at a Portland Thorns game. Her parents presented with a custom jersey bearing their daughter's name. For Sorenzo, Kinsey lives on through the words she left behind.
For my bachelorette party, my friends gathered letters from all my specialist people, and in that box was a letter from her that I'm so grateful for now, because you just never know, what they're gonna mean someday. So.
Well, new at 11, a person is dead after drowning in the Columbia River. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office says deputies were called to the area of Rooster Rock State Park after reports of a person swimming near Sand Island was struggling in the water and didn't resurface. This was just after 2 this afternoon. With the help of area first responders, the person's body was recovered about 3 hours later. One person is dead after a building catches fire early this morning. Gresham fire crews responded to an empty commercial building off Northwest Division and Fairview Avenue, where they found a fire burning through the second floor roof of that building. It took more than 3 dozen firefighters to put out the fire, as well as some small grass fires that were caused by the embers. The building was fenced off to keep people out, but was known to emergency crews as having a history of fires. There were no other reported injuries. How the fire happened is under investigation. And Portland police are investigating a crash that killed a pedestrian early this morning. It happened around 1:40 at the intersection of 139th and Southeast Stark. Officers pronounced the man dead after arriving on scene. The driver stayed on scene and spoke to police. Anyone with information about this crash should reach out to the Portland Police Bureau. All right, let's take a live look outside. We may have seen some cooler conditions for almost mid-July this weekend, but if you've been missing the warmer weather, do not worry because it's on the way. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri has a look at the work week that we've got ahead. Joe?
Hey, we were only, a couple degrees below average for this time of year. We topped out in the upper 70s, not just today, but into yesterday as well. But going into tomorrow and the next couple of days, we'll kind of pick up the temperatures just a little bit. It'll feel more like July a good portion of the week, except one little hiccup potentially on Thursday. I'll talk about that in a few minutes. But by late morning, we'll be seeing temperature right about 70 degrees. Early part of the afternoon, 84 degrees, on our way to a high of 87 degrees. Live downtown Portland right now from our Pioneer Park building camera. Clear skies and temperatures over the next couple of mornings are going to be very warm. We're looking at a temperature right now of 66 degrees. We'll look at overnight lows right around the mid-50s or so. So tomorrow, sunny and nice. Like I said, a little bit warmer with highs in the upper 80s. A few locations are getting close to that 90-degree mark. Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll really see our temperatures warm up with highs close to 90 degrees. Looking ahead, John, I am tracking the threat for some showers late Wednesday night and into Thursday. Rainfall amounts could be up to 1/10 of an inch to maybe 2/10 of an inch of rain. There's only one model that's showing some rain, but we need the rain since we haven't seen it in so far, not a drop really in the month of July. Going back to June, late June is the last time we saw any measurable amount of rain. So we'll see what shakes out later part of this week. I'll talk more about that in a few minutes.
All right, Joe, thanks so much. We have new details tonight surrounding the sudden death of longtime top Republican Lindsey Graham. Died overnight at the age of 71. New preliminary findings from the D.C. medical examiner shared by the senator's office say the main artery in his body tore. That's a sign of heart disease. Despite no foul play being suspected, FBI Director Kash Patel said his agency is assisting authorities in investigating Graham's death. President Trump sharing his final conversation with Graham on Meet the Press this morning.
What makes it even stranger is that I got a call last night sometime at, the early evening. He sounded a little tired, but perfect. But thought maybe we might even meet today. And then that was it.
Among the many condolences messages sent in, one from Senator Jeff Merkley. He and Senator Graham worked on 3 Senate committees together. He says, in part, we shared a strong interest in defending Ukraine and, to the surprise of many, in climate change. Mary and I are keeping Senator Graham's family and staff in our thoughts during this difficult time. Well, a scary incident for tourists visiting Portland after officers say a naked man grabbed and tried to abduct their 7-year-old girl. Just before 7 yesterday afternoon, dispatchers got a report of a man running around naked along Waterfront Park, and then a call from someone saying that man tried to punch them. A third caller reported the suspect, now identified as Daniel Vassy, grabbing a girl and trying to pull her away from her mother. The girl's family and bystanders attacked Vassy to get him away. He was later found and arrested while he was waiting in the Willamette River. A Hillsborough farm stand burglarized and the owner is left searching for answers about who did it. RJ Coulter has more.
The cash box inside Muddy Feet Farm was pried open and the money stolen, but the owner's grateful it was the only thing broken. Thieves captured on camera stealing from a local farm stand.
He pried it right open, and I could probably just pop it open if I wanted to.
Muddy Feet Farm operates on the honor system, where the community is trusted to pay for what they take. The cash box, one of those ways to pay, now empty.
Yeah, pretty crappy, frustrated. It's not a lot of money. It's just more violation of privacy and, trust.
Owner Katie Christensen has been operating the stand for 5 years now. She sells eggs, produce, and handmade goods.
I wanted to be like a business owner, but on my own terms, something that fits in with homeschooling 6 kids. So, yeah, this works out well. I can make things as I have time, and they help with it.
But she says it hasn't always been easy.
When we first started, we didn't bolt down a cash box. It was like a little treasure box, and someone stole the whole thing. And then I think a year and a half ago, someone came in and stole a whole bunch of products.
Going forward, Christensen says she wants to get cameras working outside to try and capture a license plate next time. But she feels locking the stand would create more problems.
If I lock the stand and somebody wants to get in, they're just going to break the doors to get in. And those doors were probably the most frustrating part of building this whole thing. So I'd rather keep the doors intact. And if they want the money, then unfortunately, there's not much I can do.
Jake Holter, KGW News.
New tonight, this weekend saw the latest of Portland's summer free-for-all events for the year. Ventura Park was the site of the two-day East Portland Summer Arts Festival. Saturday saw Latin and soul performances, and today Portland Cello Project held a tribute to Stevie Wonder. Both shows bringing out music lovers of all ages.
This is beautiful out here, and there's so many people just taking advantage of this opportunity. It's just wonderful that Parks and Recs offers that.
In fact, one of our teachers that teaches our music is playing in the concert, so we're all me and Sander are very excited to see him.
Well, this year, Portland Parks and Rec have organized nearly 50 free outdoor events for all ages, some offering free lunches for kids.